talks were not part of our campaign manifesto. The Kenya Kwanza government signed more than 47 charters with different groups, different economic forums across this country. And that the so-called bipartisan talks were never part of our promise to the Kenyans during our campaigns. And I am not surprised by the statements of Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga saying that they will not sign any document relating to the outcome of bipartisan talks. I said it before and I want to repeat it again. The aim of any opposition party is to oust the government of the day. Azimio is not a non-governmental organization. Azimio is a political groupings whose main aim is to throw William Ruto out of power. It doesn't matter when, whether it's in 2027 or whichever way. That is their aim. So anything that they put on the table, they always have something to underline that will make them achieve that objective of forming the government. And what they wanted by supporting bipartisan talks was that they took advantage of the current economic status in the country, where the country is faced with a myriad of problems, hard economic times, the cost of living being very high, and of course, you know that the cost of living and very many other problems, some of them as a result of what is happening globally. So they took advantage of Kenyans being unhappy with us because of the way our economy is behaving, the way generally the cost of living is as we speak today, to think that they can bring something similar to BBI, which therefore will now force the country to go into a referendum. And of course, when we go to the referendum, they will position themselves to be on the opposing side of government by demanding things which are unreasonable, but resonate well with the Kenyans, and by so doing, use that referendum to be like a vote of no confidence against our government, and carry that euphoria towards the 2027 general elections. That is what Azimio wanted to use these bipartisan talks to achieve what they wanted to achieve. And so by them saying we are not going to sign this, they're just being petty and use it as an insurance to sneak in the bipartisan discussion a raft of issues which the governments will be unable to fulfill. The second thing that the Azimio have always wanted to use these bipartisan talks to achieve is they want to use this bipartisan document, to extort the government. What they are simply doing is they are doing what in local language will mean wanapika tinga ndio unga itoke, because their main aim has been, after every elections, is to recoup the money they spend during campaigns. And the easiest way to do it is, even while they engage in demonstrations, they always send some emissaries behind the door to negotiate with the government, to attempt to extort the government. So the statements by Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga, Kenyans should not view them beyond their attempts to extort the government. Yeah? So we are used to them. They began with a similar motive in 2017. They extorted the government through a handshake. They got so much money. They positioned themselves in government and looted this country to death. So what they are doing now by saying we are not going to sign this document is part of their extortionist technique, so that the government can give them too much money. As we speak today, there are fellows who are negotiating with the brokers. It's all about business. So brokers are already attempting to go around and speak with the head of state, speak with everybody who cares to listen, speaking to everybody who is perceived to be close to the President of the Republic of Kenya, that indeed, please, whatever these people are doing is not good for our economy, get them some money. And that mangi business, biashara ya sigalame, ya kuanzisha maandamano, ya kusema tutalete fujo, ya kusema sijui tuko na dosia ya G2G government, ya kusema sijui atutatia sahihi ile document ya bipartisan. Hiyo ni biashara ya sigalame ambayo viongozi wa upinzani wamekuwa wakifanya kwa miaka mingi zaidi hapa Kenya. Wametuma wakala wao kule nyuma, wanajaribu kuapproach serikali kwamba hawa watu purukushani yao si mzuri kwa uchumi ya taifa, ili wapate pesa. Mimi ningependa kusema hivi na kuambia Rais William Ruto, yeye akitaka kufurahisha wa Kenya aangalie documents ambazo walitia sahihi, the economic charters that he signed, aangalie the UDA and the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, aangalie nini ambayo tulikuwa tunaambia wa Kenya tutawafanyia tukichukua hii serikali. Mambo ya vitisho ya viongozi wa upinzani, biashara yao ya sikalame ya kutafuta pesa, biashara yao ya kutafuta chakula, tuachane nayo. We should no longer take them serious, but let us focus on how we are going to reconstruct our economy, how we are going to lower the cost of living by tangible and meaningful government interventions, building on what the government is so far doing. That is what I would want to say insofar as the threats by Kalonzo Musyoka is concerned.
Currently, tunajua hali ya maisha imepanda, na kiongozi wa upinzani Raila alisema ataambia wa Kenya the way forward. Wewe unaona the way forward of Raila Odinga will be necessary for this country?
Unajua gharama ya maisha, kusema kwamba gharama ya maisha imepanda is debatable. Hiyo ni swala ambalo linaweza zua mjadala. Inategemea unasema maisha imepanda kama umesimama pande gani. Maisha ambayo tumesema imepanda na lazima serikali iangalie ni kwamba even wakati uchumi wetu unapanuka, gharama ya maisha haiwezi kabaki vile ilivyo kwa miaka mingi ambayo inakuja. Vile gharama ya maisha ilikuwa mwaka wa 2000 haiwezi kuwa sawia na mwaka wa 2022. Gharama ya maisha lazima inapanda kila mwaka. Lazima ipande baada ya muda fulani. Ile ambayo tunasema ni kwamba mishahara ambao wafanyikazi wa serikali wanalipwa, mishahara ambayo wale wanafanya katika private sector wanalipwa, lazima pia ile mishahara ipande kulingana na gharama ya maisha. Bidhaa ambazo wakulima wengi wanatoa, wao wakulima wa kahawa, wakulima wa mahindi, wakulima wa miwa, wakulima wa pamba, wakulima wa mpunga, wavuvi, pia bidhaa ambazo pia wao wanatoa katika shamba zao, pia lazima pia bei ya hizo bidhaa pia ipande kulingana na gharama ya maisha. That is how you address the challenges of the cost of living. Kwa sababu you can't expect to buy bread at the same cost that bread was retailing 10 years ago. It's not possible. So all what we are saying, and this is my argument, that the cost of raw materials should reflect the cost of living. The cost of the salaries to civil servants, to all employees in Kenya, whether in private or public sector, should commensurate the cost of living. Because the cost of basic commodities cannot remain the same today like it were 10 years ago. So this is something that is debatable. The second thing, which is very important, that we need to relook at and address, is that the cost of petroleum products. Of course, we know that the cost of petroleum products are as a result of the global markets. Whatever is happening globally, where Kenya as a country, we may have a limited role to play in terms of how we are going to approach it to bring down the cost of petroleum products. So we can circumvent by reducing some taxes that are levied on petroleum products, so that we can circumvent with the factors that are beyond our handling as a country. That is something which we can do. And of course, like I've said before, we are going to assist our government, run her programs, implement her manifesto, bring down the cost of living. We are going to offer our unconditional support, our unconditional advice, using the channels that Kenyans have given us on the floor of the House, so that we can stabilize our economy by supporting government interventions, and where it is necessary, try to see whether we can do away with some taxes, so that we can bring, at least lessen, the cost of living that Kenyans are experiencing as we speak today. But we must insulate our government against the machinations, the propaganda, the monkey business, biashara ya sigarame, that the opposition want to use the bipartisan talks to make us lose focus on what we're supposed to deliver for Kenyans, and we begin to address the side shows that are being played by members of the opposition parties.
What should the people of Kimilili expect from you as far as this is 2023 is coming to an end?
What I want to tell the people of Kimilili constituency is that because of the current cost of living, which is very difficult, of course, our economy is recovering. We also grateful that for the first time in Kenya, Kimilili constituency is among very many constituencies in Kenya where maize farmers have planted twice this season. They already harvested maize. As we speak today, they have also taken advantage of these very short rains, and they also taken advantage of subsidy fertilizer from the government to bring subsidized fertilizer in Kimilili constituency, and they took advantage of all the things I've mentioned. They have planted maize, which is doing very well, and that is a good thing to do. And I join the rest of members of parliament to say that those people who never went to farm, who are demonstrating and wearing sufurias on their head, we want to tell them that we are sorry, we are not going to sell our maize cheaply, that because they have said so, we will sell our maize at a price that commensurates whatever was put in. And that price must be able to make our farmers break even and make some profits. And I can assure them that before Christmas, I am going to convene 4 meetings. 1 meeting in every ward. The aim of the meetings I'm going to convene is kind of public participation. We are going to relook at the far we've come from. We are going to look at where we have not done well, on how we are going to improve service delivery, what they expect from me as their member of parliament going forward into the future from January. The plan that I had when they first elected me as their member of parliament, 31st of December 2023, in the next couple of weeks, and I have another plan. You know, the previous plan, I was building story buildings, constructing classrooms, and I have another plan, a master stroke, that I'm going to roll out beginning from January 2024, going forward into the end of this parliamentary term, 2027, I will share with them a new plan on what I'm going to do. What I want to assure them is that the project that we have that we have so far executed for the last 6 years, that is the plan which I will share with them before Christmas, so that we can all read from the same script. We can all read from the same page. And by the time that I will be concluding my plan, and that plan that I'm going to do in the community constituency will never spill over beyond 2027. So I will sort it out before 2027. I will implement that plan in totality so that we can take our constituency to the next level, so that we can demonstrate to the rest of the country that it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter your experience in politics. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is the ability to open your ears, to listen to the problems of the people, and being able to take the feelings of the people, the problems of the people, to be able to guide your development policy, to be able to guide your plan, and provide tangible solutions. That is what makes the difference. People are all the same. We may have a similar educational background. We may have a same budget, but what makes the difference is the ability of one individual to look at the problems of the people and craft a tailor-made, a bespoke, a specific infrastructure that will come to solve that problems. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm planning it. It will be a very big meeting, a very big consultative meeting, where we will bring together everybody within the community constituency in a particular place, and we have a full-day discussion about what we have so far achieved and what we intend to achieve in the near future, and relook at some of the challenges that we've been going through and how we are going to address those challenges that we've been facing as a constituency.
Mwisho kabisa, mheshimiwa, umeguzia mambo ya mafuta. Juzi Raila alisema kwamba kuna wale makatels wana benefit 30 shillings per liter, na akasema kwamba wao kama Azimio wanaelewa sana uchumi kuliko serikali ya Kenya Kwanza. Labda tukimalizia, unaweza kuwa na gani la kuongeza?
Unajua ile mazungumzo ya Raila Odinga kwamba ako na dosia ama ako na njia badala ambayo itashusha bei ya mafuta hapa nchini Kenya. Ningependa Wakenya watazame huyu mzee kuanzia mwaka wa 1990, wakati baba yake alikufa, waangalie mwenendo wake wa kisiasa. And I think if we have people in this country who take Raila serious, those people should go to the hospital. If we still have leaders, if we still have individuals who take what Raila says serious, they should visit the nearest hospital and they have an appointment with a psychiatrist of reputable professional standing of not less than 20 years in practice, because they will have a problem. He has been telling us for very many years about tsunami coming. We've never seen any tsunami. He has been saying that yeye akienda kwa serikali ako na akili mzuri ya kukarabati uchumi. Of course you know what happened. Alikuwa prime minister, aligawana serikali nusu bin nusu na Mwai Kibaki. Faida gani ambayo aliletea rais Mwai Kibaki kwa serikali yake hiyo? Hakuna akili yoyote ya kiuchumi ambayo Raila Odinga alileta kwa serikali ya Mwai Kibaki. Lakini alisumbua ule mzee sana na mambo ya nusu mkeka, mambo ya kapeti, mambo ya choo. Mpaka kabidi ndio rais Mwai Kibaki asonge mbele, ilibidi awatimue baadhi ya wale wandani wake ambao walikuwa na sabotage serikali ya Mwai Kibaki hapa ndani. Kwa hivyo narudia, Raila Odinga ni mfanyabiashara. Anatumia Wakenya kufanya biashara. Anatumia shida za Wakenya kufanya biashara. Anatumia matatizo ambayo yanachangiwa na hali ya kiuchumi katika ulimwengu wa kimataifa kufanya biashara, kutafutia kazi wa familia yake, kuextort serikali kwa pesa, Tunajua maneno yote hii ambayo inafanyika hapa Kenya na hii mzee ya vitendawili. Na mimi naambia Wakenya wakuwe na subra. Na mimi pia nachukua nafasi hii kuambia viongozi wetu wa hapa Kenya. Unajua, what William Ruto needs now, what our president needs now is sound advice, sound economic advice, sound political advice, not just us in the royal crown. Yeah? That's